Hello, Sakordie.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I hope you're good.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for spending these couple of minutes with me today. I know you're a very busy guy.
It's okay. I appreciate it.
Awesome stuff. So first things first, I just want to say, what up, ladies and gentlemen, your homeschooling biscuit here. And today's a bit of a different interview for me, mainly because I'm uber excited. If you know me, you know I come from a background of, before I listened to Amapiano, I was a huge Afrobeat fan. And today of interviewing one of my favorites. He is 20 years deep in the game and the first winner of the BET Best International Flow in 2019 award winner, as well as being granted Artiste of the Decade by Ghana's Vodafone Music Awards. Of course, I'm talking about the one and only Sakordie. Welcome. Thank you for your time.
Hello. I love that.
They'll be there. Add that in later. But I want to just go straight into it because I know you're a very busy person. I want to talk about you growing up. Obviously, you mentioned, I've been reading on you for a couple of days now, and you mentioned in a few interviews that you've had that you grew up in a time when hip hop was really big and really influential in Ghana at the time. So can you take me through, growing up in that environment where, hip hop is the biggest thing and everybody's, trying to be the coolest 50 Cent there ever was. Can you explain how was that experience?
Yes. That's literally what I grew up on as a child. I think it was very youthful when I was coming up. And I think hip hop obviously gave a mouthpiece to the youths to be able to have an art form where you could actually say what we can relate to. So as a child growing up, I was not far from that type of sound. So as you said, I think in Africa, we had the most effect from hip hop because we fell in love with it way more. We could relate. That is us. It's an extension of how we think, how we feel. We started making it rain even at weddings before Lil Wayne said "make it rain." So we know all these words. But it's part of our culture, so we could relate to it, and that's the same environment for me. We're just really inspired by hip hop, and also I grew up in Tema, so that was a very hip hop based city because we have like basketball courts with graffitis and it's just a whole lifestyle that you can find in somewhere like New York. So yeah, I grew up in that and also getting to relate to our own version of hip hop, which is hip life, the fusion of hip hop and high life. Definitely made me feel like I could do this because now I can hear my native tongue in that same rhythm.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And at the time, I mean, one would think that, Afro beats or high life music was I'm not saying you're that old, but I'm just saying, when we think about music in our home countries, we think that's it's high life African vibe. It's what the young people are doing. But at the time for you guys, America was really like influential on Ghana at the time.
Yes, but we definitely had our sound also dominating, which is high life, because we had strong artists that had the masses, had those artists in their hearts. Someone like Daddy Lumba, you have Kodrenchi, you have Amachi Dede, and even coming down to the newer ones like Kwabna. Incredible artists. Like the masses really, there was a good balance. We knew that we were inspired by hip hop, but then we also held our high life and our indigenous music very close to our hearts. I think Ghanaians are very into our music, our type of music. So yeah, that was also there. But definitely we were looking at the foreigners for what they were doing out there too.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I think I love Ghanaian high life music more than any other type of high life music there ever was. For some reason, I think I don't know, it sounds I like the acoustics. I like, the storytelling in it. There's a song, I'll try and remember it. There's a song by a Ghanaian group. It's a man and his woman. I forgot what they're called. And there's a song where it's basically just a storytelling about this guy saying, but I love you. And she's like, no. And he's like, but I love you. So, even in your music, I can hear that storytelling, element through it all. I might not understand the language, but,
Yes.
I can tell, there's a story behind this. There's actually a picture being painted here.
Exactly.
And now, obviously, you've worked with Black Sheriff. And Black Sheriff, we all know he became a hit star, in the drill industry, which is obviously another subgenre when it comes to the hip hop genre. How does it feel because I think we can call you an OG now, right? We can call you like a Ghanaian hip hop OG.
Yes, I could pass for that. Yeah.
So how is it working with the younger generation and seeing how the same hip hop that you obviously grew up loving has now transformed into another form and is now essentially drawing attention to Ghana at the moment?
It's a beautiful thing. I've always wanted things that put my country on a map. It could be anything, whether being food or sports or music. So anything that's from Ghana, that's taking us to the next level. Because what that means is that I get to have a chance to be successful because my country is successful. So anything that is Ghana, I'm in full support. And big shouts to Black Sharif. He's like, I knew it was going to happen. I kind of said in the beginning that he has that type of sound and energy, and I could see the hunger in his eyes that he really is for this. So I knew it was going to make it. And finally, he's here. And I pray for more of the young ones to actually get out there. We are still doing whatever we are doing, but you can't do it by yourself. You get frustrated with time. You need your whole industry to also be out there. So I'm super proud. And anything Ghanaian that's putting us on the map positively, I am endorsing it. Yes.
No, I love that. Love that. Now, as Sakordie, you've been in the game, like I said, 20 years deep. You have 80 awards under your belt. If someone had to collect your music and give it to someone who maybe has never heard your music before, how would you describe your sound? What is your narrative throughout your whole music?
My narrative is I call my music mood music. So I would want you to feel something, either you feel happy, sad, motivated. You just have to feel something. I can't give you flat music where there is no soul in it. So my music definitely always has this element because I'm somebody that I'm very in tune with my feelings and how I can express how I feel. So my music always is an extension of my feeling. And it's either I'm extremely happy, feeling bossy, having gratitude, thanking the fans. Everything has to be like the representation of my feelings. So I would want you to feel mood music, have a certain emotion. Even if it makes you sad, I still was able to do that because that's what my music is for. Yeah.
And I guess that's what we listen to music for. When you're going through heartbreak, you want that heartbreak to really hit inside. So do the things.
Exactly.
Okay, no, that's amazing. Now, since you obviously have been in the music industry, like I said, for a while, what kind of child were you growing up? Were you obviously you grew up in this hip hop, town where everything is almost American and, you're finding your mother tongue within the flow of things. What was it like growing up at home? Do you have any siblings? Are you coming from a musical family?
Yes, we have 5 children. Musical family, I wouldn't know because I wouldn't say that. But what I can say for sure is we definitely serious music lovers. My family is like super into music. My dad, I didn't see any of them sing, but we were like so into music. Every morning, the radio was on. My dad has CD collections. My mom loved music. She loved to dance even to date. She can't stand it. If she comes to my house and there's music, she can't sit. She has to dance. So, and then recently there was an incident when my last show I did on Christmas Day, my sister had to jump on stage and there was a bodyguard coming together because he thought it was a fan. I'm like, listen, that's my big sister. So this is the type of family that I come from. We love music. But there was a point in time where I was taken away from them. I lived with somebody else somewhere. It was a dark time for me. I didn't have the best of treatment. And I keep saying that it's hard for me to speak about it because those people are alive. And then I don't think they are evil people. They just did not know better.
Yeah.
But then that created an attitude or a way towards life. I wouldn't call it timid, but I didn't socialize much. It makes me observe more than just live life. And I know a lot of kids are going through this, stay with people, and then people treated them a certain type of way that becomes their reality. So that is what created that type of melodies that I like. I like melodies that make me feel something, because in those times, then I had to write stuff to make me feel better. And that's where my writing started, because I started writing not music. I started writing stuff that I wanted or what I want to see change in my life. And then I fell in love with rap music because I saw that young people were rapping. I'm like, okay, I could actually say these things, do this art. And that's how I started rapping. So yes, I had aside myself and my other 4 siblings, they had a chance to stay with mom, but I didn't for a long period. And that made more, like, it created the whole Sakordie persona that you guys are having today. So as much as it was a dark time, I think everybody's destiny, you have to embrace it. It's preparing you for something that you have to be a bit different, because my thought process comparing myself to my siblings is a bit different. They live with mom, they have a different perspective. I think like a 65 or 70-year-old person, they keep saying I'm an old soul, but it's because of what I've been through and my perception of life is what created this persona. It's helped me in my lyrics. If you understand, the reason why Ghanaians really, really are into Sakordie is because of the stuff that I say. And all came from me having this upbringing and being quiet and learning a lot. So that was how I came up as a child.
Wow. And as your siblings, like you're mentioning your big sister and you're mentioning your mom, it's your family, when you made it into the industry, were they excited for you? Were they, a bit worried because they don't know maybe about the industry like that?
That's my family is my biggest fan base. No, Sac Nation will be mad. That's my fan base, but they will beat all Sac Nation on Twitter. If my mom could have been active on Twitter, she would be the biggest advocate. So I was lucky. Of course, a typical African mom was not too keen on me choosing music over academic work, or like going to sit in an office where, African parents always want us to sit in an office and have a suit, which you can't blame them, because most of the people in the industry that I'm trying to get to, especially in Ghana, we didn't have enough role models to say, okay, because of this person, it's okay to go into it. Yeah. So I could understand her. She was worried, but she realized this was my passion, and she gave me a year to prove a point if this is actually what I wanted. But glory be to God, that same year is when I started having exposure. I didn't have a hit record, but then people started talking about me. Yeah. And I think the turning point was when she picked up a taxi and the taxi driver was talking about somebody, and then it ended up being me. And it's like, that's my son. And she wanted to boast, so she brought a driver home to come and meet me at home, So we started from that. She's like, okay, if actually people like this, then you might as well do it. So from then, my family has been my big support till today.
Wow, I love that. I love that story. And if you didn't go into music, what else, what possibly could you be doing? Are there any skills you have that would have put you in a different industry?
Yes, it will still be the art industry, because I paint and I draw. That's where it started from. Okay. And I did graphic designing as well. So that would have been, I'll still be in the art world. But outside that, what I felt that I wanted to do until I realized what it takes to do, then I had to backslide from it. I wanted to be a doctor because I really like taking care of people. I wish I could help, because I like the fact that somebody is in a bad state and you're able to bring them out from that. Yeah. I think you can use music to do that in a way. And that's the best way I can do it, because I thought about blood and looking at, and I can't stand it. If people are going through pain, I realize I don't have the heart to stand it. And I realize this might not be my field. So yes, I wanted to be a doctor. Then also anything that has to do with art, I was up for it.
No, I love that. Then it's destined to be. You're definitely doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Okay, that's amazing. Now, obviously, you said hip hop was a big thing for you when you were growing up, and you obviously had artists that you looked up to. But how was it performing alongside T-Pain and Ludacris and Busta Rhymes in 2014 at the MTV Awards? Tell me about that moment.
Beautiful, beautiful moment, a milestone in my life. I thank God that I've always had like highlights that is like worth celebrating in my whole career. Yeah. It's not been a boring career. There's always a time where I'm like, is this really happening? Am I amongst these people? Big shouts to Ludacris, who went the extra mile to perform How Low remix with me on stage. Wow. I had to change the second verse to my own verse. It was a beautiful experience. It's when it's finally happening, I'm like, I'm actually doing it. But when I'm doing it, I just take it as a day at work. Then later on, I reflect back to it. I'm like, this actually did happen. I've been blessed, really blessed in my career to have these highlights. So yes, it was a great experience, and I learned a lot. It built my confidence level. It built my belief that I can actually do this. If these people are messing with me, then that means it's possible you can get to a higher height.
Yeah, definitely. And congratulations on that. I mean, that's like a full circle moment. You know, it's like meeting your biggest idol and now you're with them. You know, that's a crazy, I can't even imagine that. Yeah, that's amazing. So since you've spoken about how you've had a good, you've had a good musical career, are there any what's the worst experience you've had in the music career? As much as it's been great, but what's like your worst experience?
Worst. Worst. I don't say worst. I say some funny moments that.
Okay.
Because in the moment I thought it was like the worst, but now thinking about it, it's like just a funny incident that just happened. A couple of times where I was so there was a situation I think it was an award show in Nigeria. I think it's MTV. And at that time I had one of the biggest records, not just Ghana, but then that was the Azonto era when I had this song that was like starting the whole movement. So I was nominated, and in my head I was like, this is a chance. And then I felt that was the highest peak I could go. So if I don't get this award, then I'm I don't know when I'm going to get it. This was like my last chance. That's how I felt. Then I think MTV knew I might not win. So they kind of like placed me, because I was performing with Public Enemy on stage. So they had a way to make me perform. And while I was going to change was when they gave that award out. So I had no idea that I didn't win. So by the time I realized that I didn't win, that I can remember that day, like I almost felt like I should quit this music, because I just felt this was a good time for me to win something. But then it taught me a lot that sometimes we worry over some stuff that's like even little. It's not that much of a, if you know what is about to happen in your life, like you wouldn't dwell on these little things that's happening to you. And then fast forward, I won the BET like twice, won the MTV again, a whole lot has happened since then. So that, and also a few shows where, of course, you didn't get the reception that you wanted. And a funny situation that happened in a club where that was very funny. That's not a downtime. It's just me being in my ego as a new artist coming up. And I think I forgot what the issue was, but there was a misunderstanding between myself and then the DJ who was playing the music, because I was about to perform and then he had to play something. And I remember being so mad. And then the guy walked up to me trying to like calm me down, but I was so pissed. So I was like, don't touch me. I was trying to like have an attitude. Yeah. And the guy was like looking like a bodybuilder. So I thought he was like the bouncer or something, not knowing he's the club owner.
Oh, wow.
So he helped me by the neck, and then everybody was like trying to turn and look at me, being dragged out of the club.
Oh, wow. And you're meant to be performing.
Yes, and then the messed up part is I had to beg the guy and whisper into his ear like, "Yo, bro, chill. So it's all good." Like,
oh no.
So such moments, it's just fun, embarrassing times. But then but a couple of times. But I am a type of person that sees the good in everything. So I think my highlights outweighs all these little things.
Love it. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Well, So I don't know if you know, but my show is an Amapiano based show.
Okay.
We, like I said at the beginning, we started off doing Afro beats. We started going back like into the archives to try and educate some people. And you were obviously one of the artists that we played to try and educate people on the hip hop industry in Ghana. And I wanted to ask, at this current moment, obviously with Amapiano being what it is and being a phenomenon, who's your favorite Amapiano artist first?
Who's my favorite Amapiano artist? I don't know if I can mention the name. I have a record that I like, and I always get, this record.
Do you have a dance routine?
I haven't noticed it, but he did a video himself. I think it was a one shot, and he was walking throughout the whole video. The song start, the lock drums come like late on the record.
Okay.
His voice sounds like a female.
Is he singing or rapping?
Singing, but then it's like it builds up. I never know the title of that song, but if you play it, I'll know. So it's just it starts very slow. It's like the song tempo is the same, but the lock drums come so late. Like it's so frustrating. You're waiting for that part, and then it builds it. That song, trust me, I can listen to that song like. If you lock me in a room for 2 days and you keep it on repeat, I'm not going to be tired.
Wow. I need to find that.
I don't know. I'll find it and later send it to you.
Please do. I'd love to hear that song. And I have to watch the video now because you said he was walking and I need to listen out for the lady's voice.
Nah, because I think if your shows on Amapiano, because that's one of the biggest Amapiano records.
Okay.
At least from Ghana. This is really bad.
I'll look. Once you find it, I'll look for it and I'll tell you.
Exactly. Okay.
Are you looking to get into Amapiano anytime soon?
I've done a couple, but you know how we do Amapiano is a bit, I need to get the right source. Like the song I'm talking about,
yeah.
I need Amapiano like that. The ones we're doing is good, but it's yes. Because my new project, the Jams album, has a bit of the Amapiano touch because it was inspired by Amapiano and me traveling. I was on vacation, so these two things informed the project. So that's what makes me I really do appreciate Amapiano.
Love it. I love that. Now, obviously, we're here to talk about your new single, Stir It Up, with the one and only, the legend himself, Bob Marley. You said, in this email came, I didn't believe it when I first saw it. I was like, Bob Marley? Wait, am I reading this right? How did you bag this? Because this is huge.
Sweetheart, you just answered the question. The same thing you did, imagine me doing the same thing.
Honestly, so I was like,
it's the same thing. Yes, exactly. That's even me I was the one that was supposed to do the record. This was my reaction. It's not possible. Somebody's messing with me. It's a prank. I still can't. It took me a minute until we started having conversations. We went to Ireland. We went to the office. I'm like, are you guys serious? Or you guys are all in with a prank. You guys are trying to have a big prank moment. Then, you put it out there. But then when we were sent the vocals, which I'm talking about the original vocals that he took from way back, and then sent it to us, they gave us the files to work with. That's the only time I believed that this is happening. But yeah, it's only right that it's out of respect and just being shocked that you can have the wildest dream, you can be ambitious, but this is not something any ambitious person would be thinking.
Exactly.
It's not possible. So,
exactly.
That's how I felt when that came in.
And did you pick the song, or it was just one of those we're willing to give you the song, or you specifically wanted?
They had a couple songs, and then I had to choose which one that I would really love to do, and that I was drawn to Stir It Up.
Wow, that this is I'm blown away. I was even telling someone yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is real. I have to hear the song. And then Gracie's been playing the song on repeat. And I'm like, this is real, you know, like Bob Marley guys, you know, because sometimes
I know.
they like to, on Amapiano, they like to take songs and then get someone else to sing
Exactly.
The lyrics or something. This is an amazing song. It's an amazing project. I don't know, I don't know the language, but tell me briefly, obviously, what the song, who inspired the song, who's the lucky lady that inspired the song?
So I learned about Stir It Up even when I had the chance to work on this project, because I listened to, Bob Marley stands for a certain, I don't think he has one message, but there's a message that you have in your head when you see Bob Marley, what he stands for, and what his whole concept has been about. So Stir It Up all these years, I never had an idea it was actually a love song. So now I had to learn when I chose it. And I was like, oh, so he's actually talking about a woman and, spending great time, saying sweet stuff to whoever you love. I was like, of course, I do Afrobeat. Afrobeat is about love songs. So this is easy for me to get into. So I think it was hard for me to even start writing because I started thinking about laying my vocals next to him. That's I was nervous. This is Sakordie, a child that when this man was relevant, I was not even born. And then now, and then you have to lay your vocals next to him. So I was being very careful, but I had to shake it off and treat it as any job I would do just to get the rest out. And then the rest has been history since then.
That is amazing. And has his family listened to the song yet?
They had to approve before they could even go further.
And they
that was my that's why I was nervous in the beginning. And
of course.
So I did a first verse, which their only concern was the fact that I had too much English, because that's what they were trying to. Because if they want too much English, you can imagine who in the world would not jump on a Bob Marley record. Jay-Z would do it. I'm pretty sure J. Cole would jump on it, or Kendrick would do it. Drake is going to do it. So if that's what they need, I'm pretty sure they can go for that. But if they're coming to Africa, they want an African sound, and that's why they came to me. I was super excited when they said that. I was like, wow. So they said less of the English and just do more of you, and then have the creative control. Just do anything you want to do with it. They gave me all the freedom. So that's how come I was able to do it. I just had to explain what I was saying to them.
Wow, this is an amazing story, and I appreciate the Marley family, for giving you that creative freedom and allowing you to speak your native tongue on the track, especially because they don't know what it means.
Exactly.
That's a big win for Ghana. That's a big win for Africans.
Africa.
That's huge. So now that you've accomplished Bob Marley, who's next? Michael Jackson?
I'm not getting too excited and start. But I think if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. I've learned this over the years in this career, and it's a beautiful. People think it's scary, but it's a beautiful thing to understand. You enjoy life more. That just keep working. Of course, you have to work. That's very necessary. You have to put in the work, but know that the sky is the limit. Until you're dead, it's never over. You never know what can come up. So. The race is still you leave. Even Bob Marley is still relevant, though he's not here. So the race is never done. So I believe in timing and just letting things flow organically. If you ask me my biggest wish, there is no way me talking about Bob Marley's collaboration would be part of it. But look at what God did. It goes beyond what you wish. So I never know what's going to happen. I just all I pray for is life and more time to do what I'm doing and just keep going.
I love that. And are you looking to work with any UK artists soon?
I've been asked that, but what I need to do is zoom into the UK scene a little bit to really know, because I'm still on the people that I know from way back, Gigs, which I already have a song with.
Oh, yeah, those guys are old, man.
No, but Gigs is the landlord though. Like it's the same way when you come to Ghana. And, if you want to, let me blow my horn for a second, but the names that's going to come up is still going to have me in there.
Yeah.
So
sure.
outsiders who look at Ghana always think Sakordie or R2B's Shatawale. So it's still going to be that until you have And if you play your cards well, if you say Jamaica, still you think about Bob Marley.
Of course, yeah.
So that is how, when it comes to the UK rap scene, to an international person, that's gigs. That's what we still see. And that's why Drake still mess with him, though Drake is new. Drake is thinking like how I'm thinking now, because Gigs had the type of flow that I don't need to understand what he's saying. Like, the flow actually works for me. The point is, what I stand for is delivery and flow. And Gigs, that's that to the teeth. Like, I don't need to understand what Gigs is talking about. It sounds good to me all the time. I just want to listen to him rap. So yes, Gigs, and then I have a song with him already, and definitely looking forward to work with Stormzy. That's my brother. We've been trying to like find the right record, but I know it's going to happen. I don't want us to push it and force it. Yeah. Anybody else? I need to zone myself into it to really get into the music more.
Potential female rappers.
Potential female rappers. Steph will not be bad. Steph London is hard. Steph London is hard. And then I have, oh God, I don't want to forget this. So I have my girl out there. Met her when I was there, but I forgot the name. She is not going to be bad too.
Yeah.
But that is a damn deal, because that's my girl. So definitely we can do it. Right. But I need to be put on. I need to be put onto a lot of the music out there to know what's happening.
No, definitely. And when you do come here, we'd love to see you. We'd love you to come into studio. You know, we'd love to see the kind of connections you make with the artists that are coming up here. You know, rap is still a big element of the UK music scene, despite the changes in decades and stuff like that. And I just want to thank you for being organic to your sound and organic to your narrative, because a lot of the time people only know certain artists' songs, and nowadays they only know the dance routine that comes with the song. They don't really know the artist or the artist's name even to begin with. So shout out to you for keeping your name in people's mouths, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
I've spoken to Amapiano people who don't listen to hip hop at all. And when I told them that, oh, guys, I might be interviewing this Ghanaian artist, and they're like, oh, really? Who? And I said your name, and they were like, really? And I was like, oh, you know? And they were like, yeah, like, of course we know him. I was like, you don't even listen to the music. And they're like, no, we know him. Oh, we know him. So that's why I had to come and say you're an OG, whether you want to accept it or not.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Well, congratulations on this stirred up song. Congratulations for finding a good producer such as MOD, who, you know, did the right things, put your sound together and made it really gel nicely. You know, I think this beautiful project because it combines the old with the new. I know you want to combine Jamaica with Ghana, but it literally feels like you've taken the old crowd who love Bob Marley and the crowd that loves you and the young that still look up to you, and just the two together. It's a beautiful song.
Thank you so much,
and congratulations. And I wish you many, many more things to come.
Same.
And if you do decide to do a Whitney Houston song, I hope I can.
Definitely. So, I think I found a song. So the guy, I don't know if the guy's name is Dali Wonga.
Oh,
exactly. That song.
He's got a beautiful voice.
Yes, too beautiful. I really love it. Yeah.
No. He's actually meant to come to the UK. He was meant to come last year. So if I get a chance to him, you know, I'll be like, you know,
definitely.
Somebody likes you.
Definitely. I'm a big fan. Let him know that.
I will do. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Have a good day. Bye.